What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Approach podcast. I am here with Victoria Bays. Good morning, Victoria.
Good morning. How are you?
Is it afternoon for you yet? Yes, it's afternoon, right?
Yeah, well into the afternoon here.
How's the
Yeah.
weather been over there?
Awful. It's been
Yeah.
awful. It hasn't stopped
Gloomy?
raining for about 3 days.
Oh,
So
that's no good.
everywhere is flooded. Yeah, it's annoying, but we're
Yikes.
all cozy and warm inside. We've got the fire on and it's nice.
A fire. Oh, I'd love to have a fireplace.
Yeah.
Not happening here in South Florida. So as always, we have a very, very special, but today and beautiful guest on. I can only say that for one guest. Welcome, Rachael Potash.
Thank you.
How you doing? So we are doing a self-care month, self-care awareness month. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, we've really dived in fully to Self-Care Month. We've got challenges in the community. We've got blogs out. We've got information on our mailing list. We've got a free guide that people can download with tips on self-care. So we are all in Self-Care Month.
I love it. So if you're a member of the Approach program, you get to experience all this lovely new self-care help tips and tricks and all this good stuff. And what better person to kind of lead off this month and challenges than self-care queen herself, Rachael. So how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I don't know. I have so many questions I want to ask, but I'm sure you do too, Victoria. Maybe you can start the conversation with Rachael of self-care and start asking her some stuff because I have so much stuff I want to talk about.
Yeah, well, I would be interested to know, like, when you feel like your journey with self-care really started. Like, at what point did you decide to like take self-care seriously and lean more into it?
When she was about 4 years old.
Oh, shush, Adam. So I never really knew what self-care was. I don't even think I knew what self-care was when I was pregnant. I think it's really not something that was talked about, a while ago, many years ago. My oldest daughter is 13, and I don't think I knew anything about self-care when I really needed it. But I did learn about it kind of by accident because my first husband became sick with cancer. And once I saw his health really declining and I saw what could happen, not that he didn't get sick because he was unhealthy or anything like that. It was just that I was forced into the role of being a caregiver. And that was when I realized how important it was for me to start taking care of myself so I could be able to take care of him. But
Yeah.
it wasn't until, a couple years ago, honestly, that I learned even what self-care was.
Yeah.
So that was when.
Well, but I was also thinking, like, if you've ever met Rachel's 94-year-old grandmother,
Yes.
she is, if Rachel's the self-care princess in comparison to the self-care queen, which is Rachel's 94-year-old grandmother, she still does yoga, she still goes to the spa and gets massages and does whatever. She really
gets her nails done.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has her hair done.
I think
She's not doing yoga anymore since she broke her hip.
she broke her hip. Sorry. But up until maybe last year, she was doing yoga. But that's, I think, where Rachel gets it from, the self-care stuff.
Yeah, possibly. I definitely, my mom missed that memo. My mom did not get the self-care memo, but my grandma definitely did. And, my grandma always worked very hard and was always taking care of her 3 kids and her husband. And I think, yeah, she's probably the first person who showed me what self-care was. And a lot of her self-care was very focused on the health aspect, not really so much of the beauty aspect, but eating well, eating healthy, taking care of her physical body. And that was her major form of self-care, was being healthy.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting to differentiate between beauty care and self-care, because I think that sometimes when you think about self-care, you kind of maybe go to like nails and skin and things like that. And don't get me wrong, I love taking the time when I get to say, like, Adam, you have Isaac, I'm off to get my nails done. Like, I love that time for myself as much as I love just getting the nails done. But self-care for me is so much more about those smaller moments where you get time with yourself and time to check in with yourself. And it's that side of things as well. So I think differentiating between beauty care and self-care is really interesting.
Self-care is much deeper than
Yeah.
what society says it is.
Yeah.
You know, I have a client right now. I'm gonna kind of go along this what you guys are saying, because I have a client, a one-on-one client who she struggles with her weight a little bit, but is all correlated to her stress levels. And when her stress levels go down and she takes some time for herself, we see the scale move. And if she's having a stressful week and go and whatever, and not maybe taking care of herself or taking that time for herself, the scale doesn't move. And then it's like direct. There's nothing you can do about it. It's if you're taking care of yourself, that cortisol is going to go down, that stress is going to go down, and you're going to start, you know, feeling better and looking better.
That's what I love though about the approach is it is not just a weight loss approach, because this is a lifestyle. It's a comprehensive way of life. It is, yes, it's eating in a certain window and this and that, but there's so many more aspects to that.
Well, yeah, we always say that the weight loss is just the result of you doing the right things for yourself, for your body, for yourself. And self-care is a humongous part of that.
Yeah, we actually just added into the course a guided meditation based on finding compassion for your body. And I think like things like that are just really, really important. It's areas that people just don't think about, the actual mentality behind why am I trying to fuel my body properly and what that means in terms of whole wellness and just not just weight loss.
Yeah, Rachel and I both do kind of our own little, I don't want to say, I guess it's meditation-ish, but she started this book and she has me reading it. What's the book called?
The Artist's Way.
The Artist's Way. Why are you talking like we're in like a meditation right now?
I don't know. I'm relaxed.
It's called The Artist's Way, and it's really about taking time for yourself, but it has these morning minutes that you're supposed to do, like you're supposed to write 3 pages every morning. Have you ever done anything like that, Victoria?
Yeah.
So I do my own version. I don't do 3 pages, but I do my little journaling.
Yeah.
She does, I don't know how accurate you are with it these days, but I do see you writing your 3 pages worth of just stuff. And that's
Yeah.
part of self-care.
Well, the Artist's Way is, I think, really about kind of honoring that inner person, the inner person who doesn't really get to come out so much. And I think that is a part of self-care, taking that time to write your journal pages. And frankly, I haven't been so great with that lately.
Yeah.
And that's a part of my self-care that I would love to get back to. Although I am listening to a book about manifestation,
Mhm.
and that is very self-care-esque for me because I just want to surround myself and my mind with very, very positive thoughts. And if that means that I'm listening to something while I'm driving that's doing that, for me, that's self-care.
Yeah, and along those lines, I mean, you've taught me so much. I'm terrible at it, but
I've taught you so much.
on the manifestation type stuff, because I'm the worst at that. I'm like negative Nancy, like, I'll
Yes.
take a bad day and turn it into a bad week, and and I'll put everything together of why it is what it is, and you can't change it. And she's the exact opposite,
Yeah.
she's manifest over here, and it's so true. It's like you are what you kind of think you are, right? And I
Yeah.
had a quote this morning, I forget what it was, but it was along those lines of, you just you are what you put out in the world, kind of thing. So your happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts.
Yeah.
And there's like no way around that, right? You can't fake that. So
No.
um
Rachel, I wanted to ask you about morning routine because I think you've spoken about that before when you did your self-care workshop. And I think for me, like having self-care aspects in my morning routine helps set me up for the day. So I just thought maybe our listeners would be interested in hearing kind of your tips on creating a good morning routine and what you do.
Sure. So every day looks different, nothing is ever the same, but there are some certain things that I do no matter what every day. Um, Adam actually taught me like getting up before the kids get up. I didn't used to do that. I was kind of like just very groggy in the morning. Now I try to get up really early, at least 30 minutes earlier than the first child. And that helps me just get myself together. I like to do a little bit of makeup, nothing crazy, just a little something to make myself feel a little bit more put together. I always have a cup of coffee, no matter what. That is the first thing that I do. I take time to sit and enjoy my coffee. Sometimes that means drinking it in bed.
A lot of times.
Um, Drinking water. Lately I've been filling up a big water bottle and making sure
Yeah, it's right
that I'm
there.
getting that. Yes, I have
Yeah.
it. I have it right here with me, getting that, and kind of always having that with me because I find that when I drink more water, I feel so much better. Um, what other things do I do? I always work
I was gonna
out.
say, like, it might not be first thing in the morning, but like if she's having kind of an off day, her like reset is literally take a shower, put on makeup.
Do my
Like,
hair.
yeah, or do her
Yeah.
hair. And like that's her like reset. And it's crazy. It could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. She'll jump in the shower and then do her hair, do her makeup. And that's like her reset. And I think
Yeah.
it's incredible. Like I could never do it. Like I don't want to take a shower at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Am I like a new woman after that?
Yeah, like it really like it's a total reset for her. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like it's a
It's
thing
just
that
it's
she
it
does.
is when you honor yourself and you give yourself the time that you need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
And for me, my day really doesn't start until my kids get home. I mean, yes, the morning is a mad rush. After they leave, I mean, like, listen, I have no kids here, so I can kind of do whatever I want as far as work and play or shop or whatever. But
Yeah.
once my kids get home at 2:10,
Yeah, it's like
it is all hands on deck and I need to have myself together. And if that means that I needed to take an hour to shower, do my makeup, and I also love to film my videos. Part
Yeah.
of my self-care is sharing my self-care.
yeah.
Yeah.
Part of my self-care is teaching other moms how to do it.
So I was
Yeah.
gonna ask, like, what's some tips you may have? Now, obviously, not everyone's on social media sharing their stuff, but with
No.
that, I mean, what other tips might there be for women, moms, whoever, that to
Self-care is really, it is honoring yourself. It doesn't have to be sitting down and taking an hour to do your makeup. Maybe you haven't washed your hair in 3 days. So maybe I mean, no, I'm serious. I'm
Yeah.
being serious. You see my hair right now in a ponytail? Self-care is taking the time for yourself, even though you know that you have to get dinner started and you need to go grocery shopping and you know what? You can take 30 minutes and wash your hair. You're allowed.
I think people have like a hard time like pulling like a timeout, right? Like with their spouse or with their kids or whatever, or they get to that point where they're like freaking out, and that's not the point I think we need to get to in order to say like, hey, I'm going for a walk around the block or whatever, you know. Would you do that too? You take
I
the
mean,
dogs for a walk?
you've taught me so much of that though. Like Adam is, when he needs to run, he's like, I'm going for a run. And I
Yeah.
know what that means. Adam needs to clear his mind. Adam needs to get himself together.
Yeah.
And for me, maybe it's going to do a Pilates class. For me, maybe it's I'm leaving and I'm going to the grocery store alone, or I'm going on a walk with my mom.
Yeah.
It's honoring yourself enough to say, I need a time out
Yeah.
You're talking here, I'm thinking like I think a lot of people out there may be thinking that it's like one thing, but you're saying that it could be, a basket of a dozen different things to pick from to that is, what you're going to do that day. And I think that's a wonderful tip because a lot of people
Yeah.
out there think, oh, it's this one thing and I have to do this one thing. And if I don't, they might feel like shit for not being able to do that. But have
Yeah.
a basket full of things to choose from. Again, walking with your mom, walking by yourself, walking the dogs. Those are three different things, like in one category.
Washing your hair.
Yeah.
Going and trying a new exercise class. Maybe it is just listening to your Audible book
Yeah.
for 30 minutes because that kind of gives you a reset. So
Yeah.
lately, anytime I'm having negative thoughts, and I think that we're all prone to having negative thoughts. Nobody's life is perfect. I turn on my Audible book, which is about manifesting. And whether I listen to it for 5 minutes or 15 minutes, I am in such a better positive frame of mind when I'm done with that.
Yeah.
And that's something that you can do while you're doing your dishes. You can do it, while you're walking your dogs. I think like the mindfulness aspect of self-care is something that is not talked about enough because we glamorize the makeup and the nails and all of that stuff. And it's hard not to because it's all over social media. But
Yeah.
the self-care aspect, going to therapy, what
Yeah.
about that? I honor myself enough. I honor my husband enough to know that I need to go see my therapist. I go once every 3 weeks. Is it expensive? Yeah. But I know I need that time for me. And it's healthy and it's important. It's good for your marriage. It's good for your kids. And you're modeling this really, really important behavior for your family as a mom.
Yeah.
Good tips. I like it.
I see I'm not as shallow as everybody thinks I am.
Well, no one thinks you're shallow.
I can come across as very shallow. I actually have my master's degree in counseling psychology, so I have this ability to be very intellectual and in depth. And this is something that I think is so important, especially as the matriarch of the family.
Yeah.
That moms are getting the time that they need to honor themselves and to know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
I love it. I love it. No, this is all great advice that again, I think people just need to take the time out. And we always talk about in the program too, you can't be the best, mom, the best dad, the best
Human
if you're not the best version of yourself, your best friend. Yeah. All that stuff. So really cool. So I know we got some challenges going on in the program. I've seen a lot of the posts popping out. Our coaches are now in charge of these fun little challenges. Are we doing any giveaways or just challenges? What are we, what's it?
I think it's just challenges.
Okay.
Just to get involved and yeah.
I would love to be a part of the giveaway. I have so many things I would love to give away.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
So maybe some beauty products.
Makeup, skincare, hair care. I would love to be a part of this self-care challenge for you guys.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
So we don't have a challenge in place right now. Well, we don't have a giveaway, but we have some challenges going. We'll come up with, we still got, a few weeks left of February. So we'll talk to the coaches and we'll come up with a nice little something to give away. And she's got some ridiculously amazing beauty products. There's boxes upon boxes that arrive at her house every single day.
Yeah.
I've done Instagram stories on this stuff. It's overwhelming. She actually hired her daughter to organize the whole thing because it's that chaotic over here with products. And you should see when they open the products, they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you got this." So we'll do that. So awesome. So if you do want more information about the Approach program, you can just go download the app, go to the App Store or the Play Store, download the Approach. As you can see, we do lots of fun giveaways along with losing weight and educating people on health and nutrition. So always lots of cool, fun things to be a part of here at The Approach.
What
Yeah.
about me?
If
do
you want more
what do you want to
information,
say about me?
if you want more information about my wonderful, beautiful wife, you can go to Rachael Potash or at Rachael Potash on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, look forward to seeing some of those giveaways. We have too much stuff. We have to give it away. That's how much makeup
And
we
we
have.
want to. I
Yeah.
want to pay it forward. I
Yeah.
want to pass on the love.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, thank you so much for being on this podcast. This was
Thank you for
This was
having me.
amazing.
That was so nice. And in a couple minutes, I'm going to be going to my Pilates
Some
class.
self-care.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
love it.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.